start prioritizing yourself. I think the best way to live is to prioritize yourself over others and like prioritize your needs over others. And that doesn't mean like completely forget others, like, needs and wants, but like make sure that you're doing what you want for no, you're doing what you want first instead of doing what they want. And if that makes sense in a way, it's like be selfish in a good way, and eventually, like, if you be selfish and if you work on yourself and if you become a good person, like, you prioritize yourself, I don't know any other way of saying it, but if you do prioritize yourself, eventually that's like a net up for everybody, because if you work on yourself first, you have like more to give. And obviously, like, that doesn't mean like be completely selfish and greedy and like forget about everybody else. But it is important to like work on yourself over others and prioritize your wants and your needs over others. And especially when it comes to prioritizing your opinion over others, which is like kind of like a whole nother concept, which, like, if others think about you differently, then, it wouldn't matter to you because you prioritize what you think of yourself better than what they think of you, and if you like prioritize how you think about yourself over how others think about you, then their opinions won't matter and you get to be yourself. Like, you get to be more yourself. And if you're more yourself, then, well, you just live a happier life, and more that'll eventually create more authentic friends. And, you know, but although it is important to give and to help others and be kind, it is also important not to give all of yourself. Don't give all the time, and if you like if you depend on others, if you depend on making yourself feel better by giving and being kind to others, then that can create like a sort of codependency. I have like close family members who do that and like give so much. Like, I feel bad, but they give so much and they depend their happiness on how like happy they get, and that sort of like makes them like expect you to like give something back in a way, and that's not fair, really. To keep on giving and then expecting something back, especially if like you didn't ask. It's okay to say no sometimes, and it's important to say no sometimes, actually, you know but I'm not saying like be an asshole, like still be an enjoyable person, but don't be like a people pleaser, which, I mean, people pleaser isn't like entirely bad, but it does sort of have like a bad connotation to it for a reason. If you like change yourself and bend yourself over to like please other people and like uh become a certain person for other people, then, well, that just makes you inauthentic, and that actually like push people away. And being yourself, and instead of being normal, is the route to go, really. You see these celebrities everywhere and you see them like being unapologetically themselves, and that actually just like it's a trait that like I envy, really. Unapologetically like being yourself and doing what you want and being selfish but in like a good way can actually sort of make you more respectable and likable. Now, some people don't like being themselves because at some point of their life they were punished for being themselves, which is like kind of like a brutal world. But my like fix for that is to just not give a fuck about what they say, because it's important to like take a step back and look at the bigger picture. We're living on a fucking floating rock. It doesn't really matter what that one person says about you, and it's really an important skill to build up, to just ignore what other people's opinions about you are, because no matter what you do, if you like go against the grain, and be yourself, there will always be some pushback. Somebody will always have a bad opinion about you, and it's just important for you to just not give a fuck. Because like, what are they gonna do? If being yourself is like a net positive for like your entire life and everybody around you, then um why not do it? Like, if you're gonna get some pushback and some people aren't gonna like you, then let those people leave your life. But if people like you more and respect you more for being yourself and being your authentic self and being honest, then uh people will people will come closer that can improve your life. And if you don't know who yourself is, that in itself is a sign to start being yourself. Or like, it's like a very vague concept, be yourself. And obviously like everybody says it, but what I mean is to like work on yourself and prioritize your own wants and needs, but also like, get a life. Like, if you don't have any like important hobbies or skills or talents, then go find them, like go take a class in like art or um music, or like dancing or like whatever. If you don't know your own talents and shit, then go find one. And that's important in your like own personal life, but also in like relationships as well, because some people become like addicted to like relationships and like their girlfriends or whatever, and they start like prioritizing them over everything else, and that can actually like ruin the relationship and push away the person that you are prioritizing, which is kind of weird. But if you separate your life from your love life, and like if your love life isn't your only life, then that's like a net positive for everybody in that relationship. If you focusing on yourself is what brings other people closer, like the people you want closer. And focusing on those people too much and making them number one priority, I'm like talking about like relationships, focusing on them too much, it can be like a net negative. Like, it doesn't help anybody. You stop working on yourself, and they need space. But it's like, I think like my like ideal version of relationship is just neither one of the people like prioritizing themselves or prioritizing each other number 1%. They're like both secure that they both love each other, and they just bring each other happiness when they're together, and they both bring each other up, and it like makes them both better. A relationship that improves your life and really is like a cherry on top. Like, your relationship shouldn't be the entire cake. It should just be like the cherry on top. It should be like an add-on to your life. Your life isn't your relationship. But yeah, get a life. I think that's all I have to say. My yap session is over. This was kind of shit post, but this is like the first video I've done without a script, so I hope it turned out pretty well and hopefully get some traction or whatever. Fuck. Love yourself, be yourself. Bye.